There we go. So, in case you want to listen to this workshop later on, you can also do that. I will just message me and I'll send you this recording. Okay, so I think we're gonna start now. I might be going like, so my computer, the screen that I'm looking at is like, don't write over my beautiful presentation. Thank you so much. I'm going to be looking at the presentation screen, but I'm going to still be talking to you guys. So if I don't see anything right away, don't worry about it. But we're just going to start. So welcome everyone to the first AI for Architects workshop. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so excited. Just a heads up, obviously, if you've been following me, you know I'm an architecture student. My name is Maria. I study at the Technical University of Berlin. About to get my master degree at Polimi in Milan. I'm going there in September. And currently, I've been really interested in AI. I think everyone's been interested in AI, but I've been specifically interested in AI, especially when it comes to like visualizations and how to use it effectively. And I'm someone who's not well versed in tech at all. Okay, so I'm pretty bad when it comes to tech. As funny as that might sound, but I actually am. So this is like idiot proof. Because I'm the idiot and I needed something that was not difficult. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you the easiest AIs that I use, that I know how to use, that I use almost every single project. And that's what I'm going to show you today. And then the more we learn, basically, every single week we'll have new AIs, we'll have different guests joining. And that's basically what's going to happen. But I think we're just going to begin maybe. So yeah, welcome to the AI for Architecture visualization, which is the topic of today's lecture course. So obviously, if you're here, you're curious about AI, you want to learn AI. I don't know why yet. Maybe you can type in the chat why you want to learn AI. But here are a couple of reasons why we should all be concerned about learning AI as an architect. So first, it makes you work 10 times faster. You can create visuals very fast. You don't have to render for a long time. You still have to create some base for the AI. I'm going to talk about that later and how to do that exactly, but it's much faster. You have more freedom because you spend more time designing and less time rendering or doing visualization tasks. Obviously, this is for people who, if you love visualizations, obviously you can still do that, but this is just for people who want to speed up this process. Clarity, you can express your concepts more clearly. A lot of the times clients want some kind of visual, they want some kind of picture. And if basically if there's no visual to your idea, then you can't really convince the client. And I think it's very important to learn how to use AI to do that. And obviously relevant. So a couple, I've heard it like going around from my experience at some like events and stuff like that, that clients and studios are increasingly starting to expect you to know AI. But don't be scared of AI. No AI will replace architect. You can ask any AI specialist. Nobody's fearing for our profession. What everyone is actually thinking is how can we use this new technology to improve our life, to make us architects not sit in the studio at 2 a.m. and how can it help us be better designers? And this is basically what this workshop is about. So it's not a threat, it's a new tool. It's like ArchiCAD, it's like AutoCAD. So basically, here's what we're going to learn today. So I did receive a lot of questions about prompts. So we're going to talk about how to prompt like an architect. What does it mean to be a good prompter? And how to prompt it specifically so the AI doesn't change your design. Because a lot of people say, oh, I can't use AI because I put my design into the AI, but the AI changes my design. And then what's the point? Well, I'm going to tell you how to fix that. Then we're going to talk about how to visualize with Adobe Firefly, SUAPP Air, and Photoshop AI. These are the main ones I use. A, because they're free, and B, because I like them. We're going to talk about more. And also next time I'm going to host these workshops, it's going to be a new AI tool every time. So don't worry if the one you were curious about is not here yet. It will be on the next one. And I'm always taking recommendations. So if you have any recommendations, please drop them in the chat. I saw a couple recommendations. I'm going to look at all of that afterwards. How to turn sketches and 3D models into render images. My favorite thing ever. I love this about AI. And how to build an AI workflow from idea to portfolio. So this is What we're going to do is we're going to do step by step creating an AI visualization. And then what you can do is you can work alongside me. You can pull out your 3D model, you can pull out your sketch, you can pull out whatever you want to use to render, and basically work alongside me, or you can just listen. And at the end, if something doesn't work, you can maybe send me your visualization. We can discuss it together. But let's start. So here are the tools we'll use. I'm going to remove this presentation soon because we're going to go into the actual programs, but we're going to first look at Adobe Firefly, especially text to image and sketch to image, then SUAPP AI, which is the program that can be installed in SketchUp and also Rhino. I'm actually using it in Rhino, but you can also use it in SketchUp. Then Photoshop AI for generative fill, which I love generative fill. Are there any other generative fill lovers in this chat? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, generative fill and then D5 render because I got a lot of requests for D5 render and how to use that. So let's start with prompting. So a lot of people, basically prompting is made more complicated than it actually is. What you need to consider when you're building your prompt is you're not just writing a sentence that's gonna describe your building. You're basically structuring a whole instruction for the AI to follow to create the visualization. And I broke it down here for you into these sections, which you need to consider when you're writing your own prompt. If you're still really bad at prompting, I'm going to show you a life hack how to overcome that later. So first, function. Start with the building type. What is your building? Is it a vertical kindergarten? Is it a housing block? Then the geometry. Does it have a curved roof? Does it have slacked volumes? Just make sure you highlight the most important part. What is the function? What is the geometry? In this order, keep this order. Then the materials. Choose 2 to 3 materials. Grass, I don't know, timber. Make sure to specify where the material is. Otherwise, the AI is basically picking itself where the material is going to be. So I definitely recommend specifying where it is. Then context and environment. So here, 1, 2, 3, we talk about the building. Number 4, environment. Where does it stand? Dense urban site, forest clearing, desert. If you have a specific city where it should be or a specific street, you can also name that. Then, okay, so these 3 are just for your model. So if you're writing this down, write it down. And this is for the environment. And then here below, we go into the actual render. So light and atmosphere. What do you want the light to be? Do you want it to be an early morning mist? Do you want it to be a winter day? What is the perspective view? Aerial view, three-quarter angle, interior perspective. Make sure you specify all this because this will be essential when we're going to render. And then the different keywords that you want to use in your render. So maybe it should be brutalist, like more like black and whitish and like very volumetric. I feel like people that like brutalism just like cringed at my explanation, but you know what I mean. Organic, minimalist, like make sure you highlight what is important for you in this render. So if this all is too much, here's like the what to do and what not to do. So what I see all the time is people being way too vague. Like they have their 3D model and then they go like, oh, modern building in the city. But AI doesn't know what you want. It doesn't know what the form of the building is. It doesn't know what the material is. It doesn't know what the style is. It doesn't even know like where the light is or anything. It has no idea. You know what you're talking about, but the AI does not know what you're talking about. And a better prompt, if we go back to here, would be to go through these different steps and then to use that in a prompt. So modern kindergarten with timber facade and vertical sun shading located in an urban block in Berlin, golden hour light viewed from isometric angle. Do you see what I did? It's in your head, it's the same thing, but we're explaining what our building is, exactly where it stands, urban block in Berlin, golden hour light viewed from isometric angle. And very important, please specify the angle that your render should be in, because this is going to be super important when you render. So why does it work? The function is clear, the form and facade are defined, the context is defined. So what I always recommend is a lot of architects, they build really great architectural diagrams. So imagine your prompt is your architectural diagram. So first is concept, then detail, then mood, then style. Easy, right? Like four sections. If you have any questions about that, ask them now because we're about to go into some trying and experimenting. But so what we're going to do now is we're going to start with Adobe Firefly and we're going to do text to image. So what you're gonna do is, hold on, now I'm gonna stop sharing for 1 second. Hold on. I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, wait, share. Can everyone see that? I hope everyone can see that. Hold on. Show meeting. Yes. Sorry, guys, my first time. This is Adobe Firefly. So Adobe Firefly is an AI that is basically free for you can there's some feature obviously like in all AI you have to pay for something, but I've been using AI for almost a year. I have never paid for it. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just use it for my own like quick renders. So yeah, Adobe Firefly is basically also from the company Adobe, the same company that makes Photoshop, and they have a really cool website they can use. I actually prefer the website interface to their Photoshop integrated AI, but you can figure out yourself what you like. And it basically has these 6 sections. So we have text to image, which we're going to test now, then text to video, which is more for like animators and not architects, but you can also use that. It's very cool. Text to vector, image to video, and scene to image. What's interesting to us is text to image. Let's go here. Okay, hold on. Okay, here is, yeah, this is what it's telling me. You get the credits. You get automatic credits, but you can also purchase credits. So here we go. On the left here, you can see the different references you can pick to create your visualization. So what we're going to do now is we're going to visualize. Here you can pick the model. It doesn't actually matter. I tried almost all of them. They almost do the exact same thing. This is just you picking the AI model. Then over here, we have the aspect ratio. Do you want your render? So this is for a final render. Do you want your render to be widescreen, vertical, square, landscape? I always do landscape because that's what I do, but you can pick whatever you want. Then content type. If you want a realistic render, you have to pick photo. This is important. If realistic render, pick photo. Or you can pick auto. It doesn't actually matter, but I always pick photo. Now, visual intensity. So basically, visual intensity is it makes your render like more AI, basically. I always have it set, this is like 75%. This is where I always leave it at. I actually don't touch this, but it's supposed to help you navigate how much like AI-ness your render gets in the end. And then here we have composition. This is one of the most important sections for Adobe Firefly. Composition basically means what you upload here is what the AI will read uh, and interpret as the base for it layering the AI on top of it. So what do you actually mean? We're going to add an image now. Hold on. Okay. So do you see, I just added a screenshot from my 3D model. I hope you can see that. This is going to be the composition reference. So it means the AI will take this as the base and then layer the materials on top of
follow
it.
this thing.
Layer the materials on top of it and then create the rendering basically. I always set this to max strength. Why do I set this to max strength? Because if it's not to max strength, then the AI will start to change the composition, and we don't want that. We want the building to stay exactly as it is. We don't want any changes to the building because we want this building rendered. So we set the strength to max. Styles. For this, what I usually do is I actually go on Google and I Google like render images or images that are like architectural, and then I upload this here to give the AI a reference for what kind of style I'm looking for. We can also browse the gallery. They have a lot of different types. Maybe obviously you don't have to do this, but I like to browse through the gallery sometimes. You can see this is like right now what we're doing is we're picking the style of the render that we want. I don't, let's say this. Okay, so we have the composition, we have the style, and now we're going to pick the effects. The effects are basically specifying for the AI how it's going to render and what is the most important thing for it to keep in mind. So you go here. Oh no, wait, I don't think. Oh no, all. Sorry, guys. Here you have to pick the one that is the most realistic. So I always do 3D. You can also do product photo, that works pretty well. And there's also one, I hope I can find it now. It's called like realism. Did I miss it? I think I missed it. Synthesis, no, that's not right. Art Deco, Bauhaus, minimalism, whatever. You guys, you get the gist basically. Just pick whatever style you want for your render. I usually pick realism. Dark, otherworldly, charcoal, futuristic, simple. Pick whatever you want. And now below here, you have like the three most important parameters that are going to help us set the render. So what this does is it specifies for the AI like what the colors are, what the light is, and what the angle is. So for colors, do we want black and white? Do we want cool tone? I always say vibrant colors. I don't know, maybe someone correct me if this is the bad thing to do, but I feel like it does the materials better if I have it set to vibrant colors. For lighting, here you can actually go in and you can pick what lighting you want. Let's say golden hour. Okay, so we have vibrant colors for golden hour. And now camera angle. Okay, this is very, very important because I made this mistake when I was first starting out. Look at your image. Hold on. This is my image. No, hold on, you can see my image. Can you see this? I hope you can see this. This is my image. Uh, this what you have to figure out what angle this is, and then you have to type that into camera angle. If these two do not match, then the AI gets confused. We want to avoid the AI getting confused. So figure out what this is, and then basically I usually do, okay. So macro photography is not something for you unless you want to do like details. I usually do either wide angle because it looks cool. I do close-ups a lot. You can also, if you have like a from above shot, you can do that pretty well, or you can do photograph to window. It doesn't really matter. Let's just say landscape photography, whatever. Right now we're just trying out, guys. I'm just playing around with you. So what are we gonna do? Now, I already said if you're bad at prompting and you don't know how to prompt, what you can do is you go into ChatGPT. I have ChatGPT 4 Plus. You don't have to get it, but I highly recommend it because then you can add different pictures and you can like make it write prompts for you. And what I'm gonna say is write an architectural prompt for this image to be rendered. I want the building to be concrete. I don't know. Write recommendations if you have any. Building to be concrete set in an urban environment. Okay. So now we're asking ChatGPT to write the prompt for us. This makes our life a whole lot easier. We don't have to write the prompt, but obviously you can also follow the steps that I gave you. ChatGPT uses the same steps. Okay. Brutalist community center, made of exposed concrete and large vertical elements with open interior, visible through column grid, so it explains the building. Located in dense urban environment with surrounding buildings and pavement, overcast daylight, viewed from three-quarter perspective, highlight detail, realistic style. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. I'm going to tweak it just a little bit before we put it in because I have it set to golden hour. So I'm actually going to change this here and have it set to golden hour as well. Give me 1 second. I'm just changing overcast day to golden hour. And now we're going to test out what it does. Generate. So now it's going to generate us 4 images of my building. Hopefully this is good now, not bad. But you have to, okay. Do you see what it did? Like now, it looks like it's misinterpreted the light as the background reference. So what we're facing issue with now, this is probably the most similar one to my composition reference. What we're facing issue now is with the AI changing the actual style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the style back. I still have the composition set to high, and we're going to try again. Is it possible to put a photo from an existing building and tell AI to change the surface or make a window bigger? Something like that is possible. I have not tried that yet, but we can. If you have a good picture, please send it to me. Okay, it looks like our prompt was not specific enough because look what's happening now. The AI is actually changing our building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into ChatGPT and tell it to specify the building more. So Firefly doesn't change it. Let's see. Yeah, lock and form. Let's try this, guys. Maybe it's also, I've never tried this style before, but we're just testing out here, okay? I'm just showing you guys what I know. Hmm, interesting. I think this one was probably our best one yet. So I'm just going to use, no, don't draw over my presentation. Or was this me? I hope it wasn't me. But we can use this to then try out different. So now what I did here is you basically pick which one you like most. Uh, and then you go into this edit section. And here you can basically create different stuff from this image. So you can generate fill, you can generate similar, you can use this composition reference. What we're going to do is we're going to generate similar. I don't know how I turn this off. How do I stop people from drawing over my presentation? Or is this me? Oh, wait. Annotate them. Okay, perfect. Okay, here we go. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna try again without the style reference. I think I messed it up with the style reference, but this is just a big thing of going back and forth and figuring it out with the AI and playing around and seeing, okay, this is more what I'm talking. Maybe my issue was that I put in a random style reference and this is actually not what we need. But I think something else cool that we can try for this section, hold on. We're just gonna go into here and we're gonna say architecture render. Look, like this is a cool type of render. I want something like that. Gonna save this image. Oh no, this is, or maybe this. I think this might be even better. Yeah. Save image. Going back into Firefly. Gonna add the image from our style reference and try again. This is just the whole thing of like going back and forth and playing around. And yes, someone said in the chat that ChatGPT renders well. That is true. We're going to try that later. Okay, here you go. So do you see what it's doing now? It's taking the composition that I gave to it and playing around with it and putting different stuff to it. So obviously some are better than others. This is probably like the closest one. What you have to do is then you basically take this and you generate similar and you play with this until God knows when. I really like Adobe Firefly. It actually helped me a lot. I use it for like a lot of like, okay, now this is good. I use it for a lot of my renders, but what I wanted to show you guys is generative fill. So generative fill is basically Photoshop inside of Adobe Firefly. And how it works is basically you can highlight different sections. Like, for example, I go in here now. Like, I don't want this wall. I go like this. And now you have a prompt here. And I write urban background. So I'm going to substitute the wall for the background. Generate. Let's see. Sometimes this works well and sometimes it doesn't. This is just us trying it out, guys. We're just doing our best here. Hmm. Yeah, maybe not today. But this is how generative fill works. You can also expand your image. You can go like this and you can make it bigger if you want to be in this section. That's going to expand your image. It's basically like Photoshop, but with AI, essentially. See? Yeah. So obviously, you can't just take an AI image and like take that fully and use it as your render. You will always have to go back into Photoshop and tweak some stuff. But the once you get the base down, it's much easier to tweak on top of it, especially with like color and adding people. So just keep that in mind. Then, okay, so we did Adobe Firefly. Okay, here we go. Some person in the chat actually sent me an image. Okay, possible to put a photo, blah, blah, blah. Change the surface, make a window bigger, something like that. Let's try it. I've actually never tried that, but we're gonna try it now. Okay, I just saved the image from the chat. I'm gonna go back into ChatGPT. Where is it? Is it this one? Oh yeah. Create a prompt for Firefly to make the windows bigger without changing anything. Yeah, so this is real time trying out, guys. We're gonna try it out. See, it also, the ChatGPT also gives you like, it helps you to do this. I actually found that ChatGPT is not really good at keeping the composition, but Firefly is much better. ChatGPT image, no, hold on. I don't think I saved it. Oh no, I did. Sorry, guys. Composition, open. Okay, here we go. We saved this. Now we have to make sure our settings still fit. So do we have the same vibe? Maybe I'm going to remove the style reference. I'm going to golden hour, landscape photography, vibrant colors. Okay, fine. Let's see what it does. Okay. I don't remember what the original one looks like. Okay, look this. I think it changed a little bit of the font, but you could easily tweak that. But I think what we have now is we basically created a similar image in AI, and now we can go back and generate a fill and say like add door roof. Oh, I don't know what I did. But basically, you understand what I'm saying. What I wanted to test was also some person in the chat wrote that you can ask ChatGPT to render as well, and I love doing this. I did this for testing out some concepts ideas last time. But what we're gonna do, no, is this correct? I think it is. Uh, Now we're gonna put the prompt we used into ChatGPT itself, and we're gonna say render this. While we're waiting for ChatGPT, someone asked the question, do you list AI as a reference source in the final submission plans at your university? If so, how? So I actually don't use AI for submissions yet. From what I know, some courses don't allow it, some courses do. I have taken a whole module on the usage of AI. And there we just like put it at the end, like what kind of AI we use. So I think ChatGPT misunderstood this. But yeah, it depends. Make sure you ask your professors if they allow that. but I use it for my own pro. Oh, look now. So ChatGPT is connected to Dolly, which is another AI tool, and you can use the it itself to create visualizations. I don't know if it's going to work well now, but we will try. Let's see. I don't know how to remove these lines from this screen. Does anyone know how to do that? Mhm. I'm trying to collaborate. You can also add without changing the reference image or lines for more accurate. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Okay, now here we go. Now it's gonna take the prompt and throw it itself and render. Let's see what it does. Yeah, I love playing around with this. Obviously, you go back into Photoshop and you add whatever you need. But this is really good for creating like a rendering base. I think it's okay. Maybe ChatGPT understood its own explanation of the render much better than Adobe Firefly, but I feel like this is much better. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so it's doing something. Obviously, change the bottom. We would have to change that in here. But do you see it like took its own prompt and made it better? So I think this is most of what I wanted to show you with Adobe Firefly. Obviously, you can also just do text to image, but then if you don't use a composition reference, then basically the AI just creates something out of nothing. So like if I remove the reference and I generate, do you see what's going to happen? It creates like it doesn't have a base point. Like, do you see that the perspective changes? There's no composition reference anymore. Like, it doesn't make sense. The AI doesn't know what it's going to do. But what I wanted to show you guys is I think you can go back into the presentation. So just to like recuperate, for Adobe Firefly, for text to image, you open Firefly, you choose text to image, you paste the architectural prompt, you adjust the style, so photographic art 2D, and then you generate your final DAO. So this is how you use it basically. And here's a prompt example if you want to try it out yourself. There's also sketch to image. So this is more like funny. I don't know if you could actually like use it really well. Maybe someone who's really good at sketching can use this. But what you basically do is you upload a sketch to Firefly, and then it creates the render for you. So you sketch, prompt, choose image style, and then basically same thing. So let's go in. We're gonna say I actually created the sketch before, and my sketch is so bad. Like, look at this. It's just lines. Like there's and now we're gonna give it uh render. I'm gonna write the prompt myself now so you can see how I do it. Render a square frame building in dense urban environment. Yes, Comfy UI. I'm actually learning Comfy UI right now. Someone mentioned it. I'm gonna bring in a guest next time and we're gonna dive deep into Comfy UI. This is just like very basic for this is what I learned first when I was starting out with AI. Oh wait, no, hold on, I did a mistake. I put this as a style reference. Sorry, we're going back and we're doing something else. I made a mistake. Generate. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see. So my for reference. That's fine. I'm using a bad prompt, but I just wanted to show you guys what it does if you import a sketch into it. Render square building in a dense urban environment. Okay, so what I I was basically I just wanted to show you how to do it with like a basic sketch. That was just like literally the most basic sketch you can have. But it doesn't matter actually. Before we talk about different AI, so this is basically how you would do it. You would upload the sketch and you would create a detailed prompt. I'm actually going to stop sharing for a second because I want to show you guys my portfolio from my AI course, where we did this. AI, hold on, guys. So I did a whole course on AI last year. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna screen share again to show you guys. So this is a portfolio I did with my friend when we did this course. But basically, here we like explored everything how to use AI. And what I wanted to show you is the most important part is where we made the building, chairs, whatever. It's a very interesting course. I actually highly recommend it if you're studying at the Technical University in Berlin. We took an animal and then a style reference. So you take this animal, like tiny dragon animal, and then a style reference. So we took this building from 3XN. And what we did then is we put that in, we did some sketches of what we wanted to look like and put it into Adobe Firefly, and we received something like this. And then we didn't like it, we started playing around with it and basically like adjusting the facade to what we need. And then, so first we created these images, which were like facade images in Adobe Firefly. And then we went back in and we asked it to create interior images. And then we explored, we changed, we put it in different locations. We played around with it. We changed the colors, we changed the shape. And then this was the final. So we did some close-ups, some details. So it is actually possible, guys. And then some more errors. And then the last task we had was generating a building inside an empty lot. And we also did some references. And then same thing, we went into Adobe Firefly, went into Google Maps, took a screenshot from Google Maps, did a sketch on that. What was important to us, did a little diagram, put it into, created a small 3D model, put that into Adobe Firefly. So like, do you see those input references? This image we found from the internet, plus our image, and then the prompt. So if you want, you can copy this prompt. This was just something we did with ChatGPT. And then you create something like this. And we were just playing around with it until we received the images we wanted. But basically, it was our 3D model plus some reference image equals cool render. So it is possible, guys. This didn't take that long. It was more so like, and this was the final. So this is fully AI, even the people. We didn't do nothing to this. And it's very cool. So yeah, so this was Firefly, ArcVinci, which we're going to talk about next time, and ChatGPT. Yes. So hold on, I'm gonna my screen. Can you see what I'm? Oh, you can. Okay, perfect. Let's go back. Okay, we're done with Firefly. Generative fill, I already showed you guys. So you open in Firefly, you put in, basically you have your render and then you can type in different fonts like add trees, insert glass building, remove traffic, and you try 3 to 4 variations and then basically pick the best. This is the most important thing to keep in mind. Now SUAPP AI. Okay, I actually worked with SUAPP AI like a year ago. They probably don't even remember who I am, but I actually really like SUAPP AI and I've been using it ever since. It works as a plugin for your 3D program. So it works with SketchUp and Rhino, and it does cost some money. You can get like student discounts, I believe. Mine already ran out, but it's definitely a very interesting AI. So what it does is, I'm going to show you. Here's a 3D model, one from the fourth semester. You type in, you download SUAPP. Oh no, maybe I should go on the website first. Hold on. This is their website. This is SUAPP Air. And what they do is basically they allow you to render directly in your program. So directly in Rhino or in SketchUp. And I love this so much because it helps like immediately in your 3D model, you can go in and you can tweak stuff and you can create cool images. And I think that's super helpful. So I go in here Then I already downloaded it. Then I type in air, and then here, boom, right in my Rhino. You don't have to go anywhere. And then what you do is you just take a snapshot. See? And then boom. And then you write your prompt here, you click create, and it renders. Amazing. I love SUAPP for this. I think they should sponsor me. If anyone hears from SUAPP, please sponsor me for this. But actually, my student discount ran out, so I can't show you the full render. But basically, you would write in here render blah 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 blah. You render it all, and then here you can pick the creativity weight. So what the creativity weight, it's actually how much the AI can change from your model and from your thing. I always leave it at 0.5. I think it's a good middle, but if you don't want to change anything at all, you can put it to 0, you can put it to 1. And this is the cool part about it. And then here they also have some style references. So IT office, education, landscape. If you want, you can look on my Instagram profile. I still have the video I made for them where I rendered this exact model. And it works really well. And then it creates like specific images like this for you, and it works really well for this. The only issue I found with SUAPP is that sometimes it doesn't understand the scale of the building. Like I think it's possible to add, if you add like a little figure and then SUAPP understands how big this is, like how big your actual model is, then it might be easier for it. But basically, yeah. And then it has editing mode. Yeah, see my current plan. Jesus, why can't I show the people? But basically, you would go in editing mode and you can add here trees, whatever. So SUAPP is really cool. Sorry that I can't show you directly. I don't have $99 right now to spend on this. This is how you would use it. Is it possible to use it with ArchiCAD? I have not tried it with ArchiCAD yet. I'll ask SUAPP and I'll get back to you. Maybe I can even get someone from their team to join us next time to showcase. But yeah, this is one of my favorite AIs. I use it all the time. And I just render in here. If you want this to be even better, what you do is you go into Rhino. Okay, hold on. You go into Rhino, you go into materials. Where are my materials? You go into materials. My computer is lagging a little bit because there's, oh, look here. You go into materials, you put materials on individual parts of the model. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you make what you want glass, you make what you want brick, and then you render it directly here, and then it just makes it look better. So amazing. I love SUAPP. I think it's super cool. So that's why it's good. Actually, use SUAPP a lot. So no rendering software required. And then what everyone has been and their mother has been asking me is D5 render and AI enhancer. So I actually got the D5 license just today again. Very happy about that to show you guys. But basically, what D5 is it's like a rendering software. Maybe you guys know Enscape, Lumion, whatever. It allows you to import your model, and then you can apply materials and lights, and then use the AI enhancer to create instant detail, and then you can export it in 4K, which is amazing. I've used D5 for all my last renders, basically at university for the last 3 for sure, and it's amazing, especially for portfolio scenes and realistic views. So let's go in. Can you see this? I hope you can. Oh wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh no, it's fine. Oh my gosh, I was just so scared. I thought I was actually I crashed the Zoom, but I didn't. Thank God. Okay, so here we go. Do you see this? This is my 3D model, or part of it. I just use the same model I just showed you guys, and this is what it looks like. I already added some material, so this is what the interface of D5 looks like. SWAP AI, sorry, I'm just answering questions parallel. Archicad 28 has the same interface, launcher AI, that is exactly what you showed us right now. Amazing. I'm going to try that out and I'm going to report back to you guys next time. can this be used with SketchUp and how? You just download SUAPP AI and you add that. It's basically once you download it onto your computer, it just works like a command. You type air and then it works. For SketchUp, you have this like this little icon that you can click. But what we do now is, okay, this is our model. Here on the top, hold on, I think it's in picture mode. Yeah, not picture mode. So you can add lights, point light, super light, red light, characters, vehicle, animals. I don't know, maybe if you want to add an animal. It's up to you guys. Wait, did it close just now? My computer is like overheating from all of my AIs. Oh yeah, no, we're fine. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened. Yeah, but basically then you can just like do different tweaks to your rendering model. So I'm already logged in. I'm gonna open recent, open this. Here we go. Sorry guys for it flying out. Okay. Yeah, it gives you like a little beginner's guide. So camera, navigation, here you can render. I'm going to show this later. Here you can add your light, selection tools, whatever. I'm going to show you all of this. So we go in. We have our 3D model. I'm going to talk to D5 about this because this mouse computation is not good. But so we go in, we set the model to like a more realistic angle. We set this here. And then, so this is like a human perspective angle, okay? So imagine you're a human here. Then if you want to render, you can create a video, you can create an image. So we're gonna go to image. Here you can basically pick how you want it rendered, 16:9, 4K, 8K. I'm gonna leave it at 2K because otherwise it's gonna take a really long time, but here you can either render or you can save. I'm gonna render it. So it's gonna, it renders really fast. So we're gonna wait for it to render the image. I already added the materials, but you can just do the same. It's exactly like Enscape or any other rendering software. Just add the renders. I have a short question. Did you use AI to create renders for your bachelor's thesis? I used AI to test out different concepts. Uh, for the bachelor thesis, not yet, but we will see. I don't think you're allowed to actually, but you definitely try it for testing it out. Okay, so render complete. Now, what you do is you can either open it directly, or you can do AI post-processing. You click AI post-processing, you select your image. I have a couple of images. I don't know, maybe we'll do this image because it has the trees. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. And now here you can ask, you can select what you want the render to look like. Pencil sketch, drawing.
Okay. 3.
Let's say this. Let's say, what is this called? Voxel. Okay, AI style transfer. Can we get the recording? Yes. I'll either upload it to YouTube or I'll let you guys know how to download it. If I'm allowed to, I have to make sure I check with the companies first. But now what it's gonna do is applying the style to our render. So our render is already good as it is. D5 is a really good rendering software. But if you want a specific style, like literally in less than a minute, it can help you render, which I think is so cool. Mhm. Okay. Okay, look. This is Minecrafty. Okay, this is cool. I actually didn't try this style yet, but look, did you see what it does? It like doesn't change anything about the model, but it gives it this different look. I think that's so cool. Let's try a different style. Cartoon, watercolor, mark. Let's do some realistic, okay? Let's do spring. Let's do autumn, okay? I'm gonna do autumn. This is so cool. I love D5. D5 is probably like the best ones you can use for your portfolio. And it doesn't take that long. So before, if you want my environment settings, I can also screenshot them later and send to you guys or post it on my story. But I just set the sun to very little. I set the altitude. I'm sorry, my English is leaving me, to 3.6. This is like the middle line. It allows basically the altitude, and it's not in the actual context of the altitude, but it's how like close the sun is to your model. So I set it to 3.6 and then I add some clouds, and then this I just leave it 0.5. And this is basically how I do my environment. But you can do it however you want because it's your model. So just wait a little bit. Yeah, but this is a really cool feature. And what's good about this is you can just upload your 3D model. So on the left here, I just uploaded my 3D model. This is the whole 3D model. You just click here plus and then upload your model. And then here you have all your materials in different layers and then you can render. Super easy. Let's see. I think it's taking a while because it's applying. I'm complaining like it's taking a while. Meanwhile, all the people that render by hand are like, what are you talking about? How is this taking a while? This is 5 seconds compared to real renders. But I really like how this is cool if you have like a more playful project like this. I'm talking about this type of style. But yeah, this is how just the normal render looks like. So this was no AI enhanced. This was AI enhanced. Do you see the difference? The trees look better, the glass looks better, and it added like because I set it to rain, it added droplets. Uh, so this is just materials. This is plus AI. Okay. Okay. Look at this. Like, come on. Stop it. Like, this is amazing. Obviously, it looks a little bit cartoonish with the lights here, but this is because I added water droplets. But like in general, like from this to this, in like a minute, hello? Like this is amazing. We can try night. And while that's going, I'm going to show you this. So here, so what we have here is AI transfer. What you have on top is AI enhancer. So AI enhancer, it basically takes your just what you gave to it and it enhances the whole image. So let's try this. Let's just take our basic thing, AI enhance. We're gonna set it to 0.7. That way it like makes the materials better, but it doesn't change your model. We turn on AI enhancer. We turn and then we wait because now it's gonna render two things. Yeah, but this is pretty cool. But this looks like the glass looks really real. Obviously, it's blue. No, not everybody wants that, but I think like for D5, this is amazing. And you get this in a minute? Like, come on. This is how it looks. I can also show you some of my other projects after we're done with this, but I really want to finish trying out. If you have any questions while we're waiting, please drop them in the chat so we don't get bored collectively. Can we get the recording? Yeah, I think I answered that. Where do I find the D5 option for AI enhancers? So you download D5, you go on their website. Here's our website. Google D5 render, go on their website, start for free. You download the app. Then you go in the app, you open your model, you just open new project, import your model. You can here edit to layers and then import your model. And then here on the top, you first click on the image and then you click on AI enhance. Okay, so you first render, then you AI enhance. You can't AI enhance without rendering because you first need to render your materials. If your model already has materials, D5 can interpret the materials, but you can you can also import an empty model and add materials in D5. It's not a problem. This is taking too long. Let's wait for this. I'm going to do this again because I don't know, I don't want to keep us waiting forever, but I'm just going to do the AI enhancer. And it should give us something similar to this. Yeah, but while we wait and we saw all these cool features, I might just jump back to our presentation here real quick. So here's like a little summary, if you will, for how to use SketchUp models. So if you use Firefly, first take a clean photo of your sketch. If you're using a sketch, upload it to Firefly, sketch to image, add prompt, and then download and refine. If you're using a model, take a screenshot of your 3D model, open it in Photoshop or Firefly, and then use generated fill. Okay? Okay. And then here's a little summary for the workflow. You can screenshot this if you want. So you start with the hand sketch or massing, then generate fill, visuals in Firefly, then you build your model. So this, you can skip this step. This is just like concept visualizations. Build the model and then render. And then you can also go back and edit it and then layout. Okay, so this is like a simple workflow. I also have some resources for you at the end that you can just click like a link. Should work. Hope it works. But yeah, pretty cool. While we wait for this, I'm gonna open a different project. Hold on. File, open. Oh no. Hold on. File, open, recent. I'm not gonna save this. Have you tried DeFi with Archicad? I actually have. I don't have it shown here, but I just did a screenshot of my 3D model in Archicad, and it's the same thing. You can upload images as well to DeFi, but it's better if you upload 3D model. I actually haven't tried uploading the 3D model from Archicad, but you should be able to. If not, just save it as a DM3, so like the Rhino file format, and try uploading it that way, and it should work. If not, then message me and we'll figure it out. Okay, different one. This is like an interior scene that I created. So I added some people, lights, materials. So same model. I just went into one room and then I started adding like books. So I just went here. You have tools, particles, skater, terrain, and then yeah, so I just started adding everything here. And then again, to render, you go here, render. It might be too dark now because I didn't set the light yet, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna wait for it to render. So this is more interior design now, okay, guys? hmm But it doesn't take, like literally, I've been using D5 for a year and it usually doesn't take longer than 2 minutes, which is crazy compared to doing a render yourself because I was doing my first rendering projects myself and it took like hours. And I don't push that upon my worst enemy. So let's go. Yeah, so Firefly is not fully free. It is full, it gives you 10 generations every day. It updates every day. Usually that's enough. I have like a student subscription to Firefly. It should work for you as well. You can try that, but I definitely recommend Firefly. Okay, now we do AI processing. Obviously, it's super dark. Let's go AI enhancer. Just imagine it's not dark, okay? I don't have time to set the light right now for your time's sake and my time's sake. But so it's gonna enhance now what we gave it. You get that now. But while we're waiting, uh, here's basically all the resources that I can recommend to you guys. You can so first Adobe Firefly. I'm gonna I want to copy link. Yeah. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna post these links later on my story, but here's a link to Adobe Firefly, SUAPP. You can also get cool prompt ideas from Lexica. I'm gonna look at that. And then you also have Prompt RQ, which is super cool. It's like a prompt builder. And then obviously YouTube. But while we wait for our D5, I wanted to show you guys Lexica. So Lexica is a prompt library. Here you can find, these are all AI generated images, and you can click any image and you get the prompt, and then you can copy the prompt and edit it. And this is really helpful if you're really bad at prompting. You can just go in here, find an image that you think looks good, and copy the prompt and ask ChatGPT to tweak it to your building. I did that once and it worked really well. They also have like building prompts. Let me actually look for this. But this is super cool. I'm trying to get on a person to come on next time who's really good at using Lexica. I'm gonna type in architecture. Yeah, see? And then like this style. Futuristic airport terminal exterior. Okay. Not that good of a prompt, but like here, for example. And then you can see what the prompt is used and like what the different, and you can use this as reference images for Adobe Firefly. So highly recommend. And then here, maybe file recent. Let's see. Another thing I did. Okay, so here the 3D models of the people are no longer available, but this is also something I did. I just added the materials onto my Rhino model, and here you would do the same thing. So render. This is the last thing we're gonna do, guys. So if you now we're gonna start the like Q&A section. So if you have any questions you want to ask, prepare them now. Or if you have any things you want me to render for you, please send them now while we have time. Mhm. Okay, here we go. Does anyone have any questions or anything that's not clear that I maybe didn't explain well? Obviously, these are not all the AIs that are available. We're gonna do these workshops probably like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and hopefully we can cover them all. But these are just like the main ones I use so far. But I hope to figure out new ones. Do you use AI for your end presentation renders like in Studio? Um, I don't think I did yet. You probably could. Like there. Well, actually, D5 enhancer I did use. I enhance almost all my renders. It just makes the materials look more realistic. But Firefly, I used it just for the AI module submission. But D5 I did use for Studio. Because it doesn't do the whole render for you, it just enhances what's already there. Like you place the materials yourself. So it's good like that. Any other questions? I hope that answered your question, by the way. You try to enhance it. I just want to make sure it took more of a full hour and make it more realistic. Okay, so we just received an image. Let's try. Why is like D5 slow the only day I'm doing the workshop? It's a mixed use developer renders in Dunian. Okay, amazing. Maybe 5 is not responding. Okay, I'm gonna do it after this. I think it's not responding right now because I'm rendering this, but I'm gonna do it later and I'm gonna get back to you. Do you have any other questions so far? I've been talking for like an hour probably, right? Hope nobody's bored of my voice. Um, yeah, so this is waiting. Let's maybe just Hmm. Any other questions, guys? This is the time for them. Questions, opinions, anything. Oh, apparently I've been super clear if no one has any questions. Probably not. Really helpful video, thanks. Have you used AI with Revit? I'm working on that right now. I started using Revit like beginning, no, sorry, end of last year. I'm trying out some different AIs now. I'm not going to show it to you yet because haven't figured it out fully, so I'm not going to show it to you yet. But hopefully next week or the week after that, I'm going to show you how to use it with Revit. Um, what are the best AI add-ons for ArchiCAD? D5. Have you used any other AIs with ArchiCAD? So D5 is the best, in my opinion. Archivinci AI is also really good. Another one. So Archivinci, I'm going to show it next week probably because it takes a little more time to show, but it's also really good. You can also use the ArchiCAD model. You can just take screenshots from it and then import it into Firefly as well. So I would definitely say like D5 first, then maybe Archivinci or any other those types of AI, and then Adobe Firefly. But definitely D5. Just download it as a 3DM and then import it into Firefly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my. I'm just gonna go back to render one, and I'm gonna show you guys. I'm actually planning to come to Germany for my master. What software skills? I think this is less with AI and like more general question, but ArchiCAD and Revit is always good. So back to here. I just want to show you guys. Yeah, see, it tells me to render first. Let's see. What kind of skills and knowledge is important before entering in the architecture degree? It's important to be curious and it's important to learn new tools. So like 3D modeling and Rhino and also I would say ArchiCAD is important, at least in Germany, to learn. And then yeah, so I'm just showing this again. But basically this is it from my side. Yeah, we just did that, let's practice together. So just some kind of thoughts, like have you used Perplexity or just ChatGPT for research? I have not tried Perplexity yet. If you want me to, I can look into that. For next time, I'm gonna write everything down that you guys say. But yeah, don't try to be perfect with your renders. You can always go back in Photoshop and add people in. If you want for next time, I can also show you how to do that. So how to take your AI render and layer real people on top of it. And don't worry, AI is not going to be replacing your work anytime soon. It's going to be amplifying your creativity. So that's it from me. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. 1 second, guys. How do I stop this? Here, stop here. Sorry. Okay. Uh, fully enhance the render I just sent you. I will, and I'm gonna send it to you. It just takes too long to do it now because I don't know why it's not loading, but I will do it for you later. Thank you all for coming. It was actually incredible having you all here. Please join next time, and it's probably gonna be in like 2 weeks' time. If you have any recommendations for how to make this better, how I can learn, if you have any ideas, please DM me your ideas. And if you have a lot of knowledge, maybe you can help be a guest on this workshop next time. Uh, I'm definitely open to all of your opinions, and I'm so happy all of you came and we could help each other. So definitely stay tuned. Let's keep this conversation about AI going. And if you have any more questions after this workshop, you can always reach out via DM. I'll do my best to reply. I'll keep doing this workshop, so stay tuned, look at the stories, and hopefully every 2 weeks, maybe next time even with a guest, we will see each other. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Uh, Stay tuned and see you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for coming.